Dun, 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 dun. Song of the week, Nunca Pera Nunca. Cue music.
Nunca, pero nunca me abandones, cariñito. Nunca, pero nunca me abandones, cariñito.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Forget to Evolve podcast. I'm your hostess with the mostest, G Money. It's nothing funny. Cool. I hope everything thus far within the week is about midway through. Yeah, it's Wednesday. I hope it's going well. I hope your week has been good to you. I hope you're being good to the week. I hope you're staying hydrated. I practice what I preach, and I practice what I teach. Got to take that quick moment. Gratitude. Thank you guys for all the love and support. This would not be possible without y'all. I would not have the motivation to carry through. What's up? For real though, like what's up? I feel like it's been a moment. It's been a minute since we kicked up. I've been caught up. It's been me. It's not y'all this time. I don't know if I had said it. This is kind of the intro. I don't know if I said it, but I wanted to celebrate some wins for me this week. This is an old script, so now I gotta think about what's really my new accomplishments. Because I think last episode I told y'all that I got my business license. If I didn't, I got my business license. Everybody, yes. I'm rebranding my agency. That's what's next to come. It's a lot of I think I did talk about this. What's some new things that happened? Some wins that I had recently. I went to the jazz club for the first time on Saturday. I got some big news. Also that day, it was a really good day for me, guys. I really enjoyed myself on Saturday. What else? I had a good day yesterday coaching. Well, Monday, Tuesday, I had a great day with my girls. So, like I told you on my last episode, I was talking about my boys. I told y'all the girls just kind of get more, used to me. And I feel like they are now more acclimated and they're more receptive to me. So I'm happy about that. That's a win for me. Anything else? Oh, y'all, last Friday. Remember when I was telling y'all I probably wouldn't be here to post and do all that different stuff. Or I wouldn't be here to post the stuff on Instagram and all that, I was in Bimini. I had a trip to Bimini for work. It was amazing, guys. It was a moment for me to really... I took a moment to realize, or it was a moment of realization. I don't know why it took me so long to get to exactly what I was trying to say. It was a moment of realization for me that I'm beginning to walk into what I've been praying for, y'all. One of the things that I've been wanting to do for so long is travel, right? I want to do media. I want to travel. I want to have clients outside of just my... I hope that... I'm pretty sure this got really dark just now. I want to travel. I want to have clients internationally on other family islands, and that was just a taste of it. It was so fun. It was so cool. I had a great experience, and there's just so much more to come. So that was definitely a huge win for me, as a matter of fact. Let me let this truck go. They just be hating, bro. So yeah, those are my wins of the week. I want to hear your wins of the week, or just some small wins, some big wins, whatever. It don't matter. Let me know. I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested. We got fun facts, guys. Themed fun facts though. We got an animal themed fun fact. So I got two for y'all. Right. First one about sloths. They can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. Don't know why they would need to do that. I don't know. Like, let me know. Do they be underwater or something? I'm confused as to why they would need to do that. As well as they can slow their heart rates. And cows, adorable animals. If I could, I would want to have a pet baby cow. And obviously I wouldn't get rid of the cow once it gets old. I would still keep, but I would like to have a pet cow from as a little jit, But yeah, they very strong. They form very strong social bonds with specific individuals in their herd, and hence that would be their best friend. and if separated, they can become stressed. So if you ever was to see your local cow herd or herd of cows, you see two cows, they just happen to look stressed. No, it's because they may be best friends and they're separated. Please reunite them. Thank you. All right, guys. I didn't say what this was. So I think, yeah, I did. The last episode I told y'all Wednesday Minisode series. We started the Minisode series. To give you a bit of introduction to what this is, basically it's like a 20 to 40-minute episode on Wednesdays where I talk about what y'all want me to talk about. It's community fuel, community based. Whatever topics y'all send in, it's what I will be talking about. I will be discussing those. And yeah, send in y'all topics, babe, because if y'all don't send in the topics, we can't do this. You see what I'm saying? I'll put a poll out, and if you just happen random 2 a.m. Monday morning, you watching a YouTube video, oh, this is interesting. I would like to hear Gabby talk about this. Just text it to me. Text, DM, email, whatever you want to do. Okay, let's get into it. So the first episode is going to be how I became a creative. Maya sent this in. What I want to do is, if y'all want to shout out, I'll shout y'all out. I know she have a YouTube channel for sure. So I would like to plug y'all. If y'all have a business, anything that y'all would want me to shout out or, well, yeah, shout out or just shout out, I'll do just that. Consensual only though. I knew Maya from high school, very sweet girl. I appreciate the topic. I wasn't really expecting to be talking about myself so early on. I didn't know that y'all really cared to hear that much about me, but I appreciate that. That's actually really heartwarming. So let's get into it. I guess for prefacing purposes, give you a little bit about me, creative wise, artistically. So I am a multifaceted artist. I can draw, sing, write, long form, short form. I can play instruments. I can act. I can act, guys. I know y'all may not. I can act though. I was in drama club for a period of my life, like maybe 2-3 years. I had to stop because I was doing basketball, but that was a good time in life. Not gonna lie, easier times. What else can I do? Anything within the arts. I love it. I really do embrace the arts. It has a very big. Hold on. Trying to figure out which side my heart on. It has a very big spot in my heart, my mind, my life. I try to figure out if I should do like a build up, then give the answer, or should I do like the answer then a breakdown. I'm gonna go with what I'm feeling. I'm feeling more so answer than breakdown. So to answer that question, I would say that I've always been a creative. Life has moved me and molded me to walk in it though. Like it was always something that I've had, that I've been. It was just about evolution and evolving and just timing, divine timing and alignment. So there's your answer. What I would say, I have this concept that I had thought about that I wanted to mention. So I put, like on Instagram when you have your professional, whatever, like the little, yeah, I had art there. And I never thought about why I'd done it. It was a while back, way earlier this year. I put it there. I never put any thought into it or why I'd done it. And then I was in the shower one day and it was just like, whoa, oh my goodness. I am art, right? Yes, I'm an artist, but who is an artist? An artist is someone who makes art, but the art comes from within. It's an extension. True art, in my opinion, is an extension of you. It's an extension or an expression more so of your experiences, past, present. It is an extension as well as an expression of you. The art that you produce wouldn't be your art if you weren't you. That sounds way too complex. I feel like I'm saying a whole lot of nothing. That line specifically. What I'm trying to say is the art that you create, it comes from your experiences, which means that it, like I said, it is an extension of you, making you the art. So you are the artist and the art. And some people might be like, yeah, come on, like that you just doing too much. You're thinking about it way too hard. But I don't think I am. I think that's a very good way to look at it because it also makes you more intentional about your art. So yeah. Um, what I would say though, for me, I've always been very creative, but I've always been, I've also always been very chaotic, right? And how I see it now, too much chaos can stifle creativity, but too much structure can kill it. Sorry. So for me, I've never been a structured person. I've always been very rebellious, I guess, stuff like that. You know, mash up the system, all those forms. I always hated corporate and business and everything that it stood for because to me it looked like conformity and I never wanted to conform, right? So that as well as my ADHD, lack of organization, you know, all the things that would come with ADHD. So I've had, I listen, thinking about it right now, I could probably, without making any new form of, without any new brainstorm and anything, I could probably put out so much art into the world for the next like 6 months or more, just off of what I've had, the ideas I've had, the things that I've written down, the projects that I've thought about and never finished, never continued. For the next 6 months, for probably 6 months plus, I could put out new content almost every week. I don't think I could do it every day. Just off of the ideas that I had, that unfinished ideas, if I was to finish them. That's what I'm saying. So I've always had this creative mind, but I just never had the structure to really, I guess express it. Like I knew I had it and it was always there, but I just never. But now I'm finally in a place where I'm healing and I'm growing and I'm becoming a little more organized and understanding how I can work or what my creative process would look like so that I'm able to do a project start to finish. Having the patience, having the clarity, everything that I would need to do such. Do do it. Um yeah. It wasn't a big finding this was not a it wasn't a big aha moment. Like it was just shaping. It was a lot of shaping that happened. There's three things that I've always been. I've always been an athlete, an artist, and a nerd. A lot of my validation came from being an athlete as well as doing well academically. So that's what I've, you know, would go and flock to. I wasn't really being, I don't want to say praised, but I wasn't validated or commended on artistic capability. So that just fell back. And I would, for so long, most of my identity was just being an athlete, so that's what I would mainly identify myself as. I just had a very strained relationship with school also, so I never thought about myself being any kind of nerd because I was like, I hate school. I don't hate learning, which I think is a part of being a nerd, I guess. Learning and being hungry and loving information. I don't think that I ever hated that. Because obviously, like I tell you, I watch documentaries, I'd be on YouTube watching all these different stuff because I just literally love learning like that. I love learning about stuff that I want to learn about. But when it comes to just the whole this even in school, like I loved history. You know what I mean? That's another thing. I always used to find myself on YouTube watching world history videos, documentaries on people like Hitler, like just trying to understand different things like that. Hitler was more so people like him was just like kind of me trying to understand like what could make you want to do these kind of things. And I feel like that's where the psychology it all in retrospect everything adds up. But I'm not talking about psychology. I'm talking about creativity and art. I didn't even mention music yet, I don't think, but music has was the seed. Music was the origin of my love for the arts. Um, but I always would find myself just what was what was what was it like in the 90s? What was the music scene like in the 90s? Whenever I'm interested in something, I go on YouTube and I just watch documentaries. Like I love learning. So there may be something very random you may talk to me about and I could give you a fun fact maybe. Most likely just because I just love learning. I don't think there's any other way to say it. But cool. like I said, musical roots. I had a lot of different genres that I would listen to from early on with just different people in my life, which now has shaped me into this multi-genre loving person. I don't listen to metal. I don't like metal though. So reggae, roots culture, dance, all that stuff, that was really more so my daddy, a little bit my mommy. With my mommy, it was more so like 90s R&B, Aaliyah, Nas, Lauren Hill, people like that. My auntie, my auntie, my older cousins, Nicki Minaj, like more of the pop stuff that would have been at that time, the rap at that time, stuff like that, as well as just that was the culture at the time. So, you know what I mean? My Grammy, gospel, my Grammy and granddaddy. My granddaddy was more of the older gospel stuff. My Grammy, not more new school gospel, but she just always had gospel playing around, the Baptist church. In that great getting up morning, fare ye well, fare. You know what I mean? Like, I love music, y'all. And that was the seed. I think I said that already, but that was the seed. I did my own research, like I told y'all. So I ended up discovering Nirvana, grunge. There's this bird like balancing on the fence, like walking. They're eating that. I don't know if it's a female or male bird, but they're eating that. Um, yeah, I found grunge and alternative, which is basically just a subculture of rock, really popular in the 90s. I found that by myself. I was listening to these things maybe this was somewhere like first or third grade, I think, when I first discovered that. But I remember vividly one of my favorite memories was would always be just we had this desktop set up in our living room, and I would always go and I would be playing. I would use the broom and I would use it as a guitar. I would be playing along with Green Day or using it as a mic, and that was just it was always so fun to me. And I that's where I realized, looking back, it's all this is in retrospective, guys, because when I was, well, how old I would have been, maybe like 8, 9 ish, I wasn't thinking about this stuff. So in retrospect, I could see where my favorite instrument being the guitar stemmed from or came from. I could see that being true, as well as my love for the drums. Also, that was also another instrument that I loved to like play around with. Everybody had the pencil era. Come on, nobody, you ain't fooling nobody. And I do have this other memory with the drums. It was this one time that it was me, my cousin, and one of the dudes from my Grammy church. He used to play the drums. He still plays the drums in their church, actually. And he was we was playing basketball at first, and we went inside the church, and he was playing the keyboard, and I was on the drums. It was just, y'all, it was amazing. All right, it was just amazing. It was an amazing experience. These are the things that I remember. These are the things that made me or makes me me. These memories, these core memories. Um, Musicality, to speak to that once again, to move and transition into writing. Just recently, I was commissioned to write a poem for a event USC was having at my school, and the dean of education, she was something. I got in contact with her through one of my teachers, and she read one of my poems, or she read the poem, one of my poems, and she was like, "Oh, I could." There's this sense of musicality. Mind you, she studied under Kwame Dawes. I think I'm saying that he's the Jamaican poet laureate currently. But she told me, like there's this musicality to my work, and I could see it, because music was at the origin, music was my genesis. That should be the title, huh? Music was my genesis. Are we playing? Is that the bird? No, that's not the bird. Okay. Speaking of like poetry, bro, I've always been math versus English. You already know how I'm coming. English from then to now. I've always hated math, but it's so ironic because I'm like, now that I'm out of school, or now that I don't have to do math, I'm so much better at it. I'm so much better at mental math, all that stuff. And as long as I was in college, the past 3 years that I was in college, I took math twice. When I first went off to school, and when I transferred to my other school. There were only 2 times, and it's because I had to. I didn't have a choice. If I have a choice, I'm never taking, and it shows. I literally didn't take math for my 3 years. Outside of those 2 times that it was mandatory. Um, but yeah, English. I've always been into writing and into English. My relationship with long form writing though has been strained just because I know the 12th grade year specifically, we was writing essays like every day, and it was just boring. It was, you got to write, mind you, the poems was good, the books was good, but the essays they want us to write, you expecting me to be creative, right? You want originality, but I can't be original. First of all, you've read this book at least 2 million times. You've read works, essays on this book, or you know what I mean, on this book about 2,050,000 times. So how am I supposed to be original? As well as you're not giving me the freedom to be original. But I don't want to get into that. That's just I feel like I just had a strained relationship. I'm currently working on healing my relationship with writing because even as simple as just journaling, I don't do it. And I thought it was because I'm just lazy, but I don't think it's laziness. I think it's literally just the strain that has been put on my relationship with writing. I loved writing before, but now, even with my poetry, y'all, is I have so much unfinished poems. Y'all don't even know like, yo, I can't even take y'all the half for real. I can't even take y'all the half. But yeah. Oh, okay. I gotta check my notes, make sure I'm not missing it, nothing. Make sure I've already said everything that I needed to say. I'll talk about this later, but what I would say is just to speak to that, the school can kill your love. The school system can kill your love for something. It's not. I feel like school is really good. It can help you in molding a certain skill or passion, but at the same time, too much of anything is not good. When I tell you all, writing essays every single day, and then it's just like you think this is a really good essay, and then you give it to your English teacher for them to give you a C because you're not original enough, or you know what I mean? Or it's too what was the word my English teacher would use? Shallow. It's too shallow. It's like, okay, I have no depth. I just lack depth. That's just what I am. That's who I am. I'm shallow. Um yeah. So to speak more on to get my guitar experience. So like I said, always loved the guitar. It was always one of my favorite instruments to hear in any song, right? I feel like there's certain instruments that your ear just or that your ear picks up quickly, or is more biased towards, I should say. I feel like that's better. And the guitar was definitely one, the electric guitar specifically. If there was an electric guitar in a song, most definitely my ear just kind of like, you know what I mean? My bad sense is tingling. But I got my first guitar, and I think about 2018, 2019, and I picked it up, and I was already able to like play little stuff on it. No practice, no experience, nothing, just. And when even just loving the guitar, y'all, I would watch, y'all, I'm trying to keep it together. I don't want to nerd out on y'all right now, but just know I would study the history, and I still do, right? Watch videos, documentaries about how guitars was made, how this guitar came to be, and the evolution, all of that. Just know all of that was in my history. So if y'all want to talk guitars, we can talk guitars, real talks. You understand? I ain't talking no smoke when it comes to the guitar, making nothing. You feel me? But yeah, so I got my first one 2018, 2019. It was acoustic. I did not want an acoustic guitar. But if I was thinking, my young brain was not thinking, that would have been a perfect time for me to really start to learn the basics and do what I needed to do. I finally got my electric guitar in 2020. Her name is now a Benny. I just named her Benny because it's Yoruba, which is a tribe in Nigeria, I believe. Don't want to be, you know what I mean? Let me check and make sure. Don't want to be saying the wrong things. Yes, it's the people of southwestern Nigeria. Perfect. You see what I mean, right? I just know. Anyway, a Benny means we called for her or we asked for her and she came. And that's how I felt about my guitar. So I named her a Benny literally maybe just like 3 weeks ago. I've had her for, so that means I would had her for about 5 years now. I can noodle my behind off, but I cannot really play. And I think it's just because I never allowed myself, like I talked about the last episode, myself that chance to be a beginner. And when I get her back, I'm supposed to be going away very soon. When I get her back, it's grind time. I'm not even playing, bro. I'm serious about that. Because I want to be able when I drop my EP, I want to be able to like play the instruments on my songs, you know? Y'all, if I get this EP off for real, wow, that is gonna be anyway, I need to think about that some more. I'm about to close up, y'all. I don't know how I feel about the structure of this episode. I feel like I was all over the place. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, I don't know. We growing though, we evolving. We evolving. I did it, I found it. What I would say is kind of starting to get to that ending part. Many things can be true at once. And for so long, I didn't believe that because that's not what society taught us. It's like, okay, well, if you're a nerd, you can't be a jock. When you're watching the TV shows, you know, you got that jock who secretly loves, who's secretly good at math or something, but you can't openly be a jerk. I mean, a jerk, a jock and a nerd. Or you can't be emo and be this, but you can be many things at once. You know what I mean? That's the point of living. We don't have just we're not just one thing, right? And this is where that whole being identity riddle comes in. You don't have to just be one thing. You don't have to. Some people may embrace some parts of you more than others, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But the true people and the true friends, the true partners, or the people who are really supposed to be in your life, the people that really love and accept you, will accept all parts of you. You know what I mean? They will embrace all parts of you. Cool. And to close this up now, y'all, this mind you, this episode was supposed to come out like October 1st, I believe. So here I have we in a new month. We're almost at the end of this one, going into a new month. October went by fast. It was just October 1st. Now we come into the end of this month. That's crazy. That's hard to believe. But we closing this month out, about to walk into a new month. We got how much more days? We got 9 more days in this month, right? A week and 2 days. You got 2 more months left in this year. Do not waste it. You know what I mean? You know what you got to do? Start getting stuff done. Start preparing. Start researching. Whatever it is you need to do, start getting it done. It's crucial. It's important. All right. I implore you, do not wait until the new year to now start trying to get into the gym or trying to do whatever it is you want to do. Don't wait until the new year. Boy, I thought that be lying on my leg just now. I was about to say, oh my gosh, y'all, we outside. Greenery makes for the best scenery. I didn't even like acknowledge that. That's crazy. But yeah, start getting what you need to get done now. Prep, do the research, do all the hard stuff, get yourself in the habit now, so that when next year come, you could just continue. You feel me? You could continue, or you can begin to do whatever it is. Right now, like I told y'all, maybe last episode or this one, it's a lot of learning going on for me. It's a lot of planning, logistical stuff, analytical stuff, all the boring stuff that I'm not necessarily fond of. You know, I just like to do the creative stuff, but I've been doing a lot of the learning and the researching and all that stuff and the monotonous, boring stuff. I'm embracing it though. I'm embracing it. And it's boring and it's monotonous because it's business stuff for my agency, and I've always been anti like corporate and business. We could always talk about that later. But yeah, this is leading me into my last thing, really. And why I'm doing all this stuff is because I remember seeing this post and it really stuck with me, and I really want to give it a try. I want to give it a go. It was basically just saying how, all in nature in the winter, trees, they lose their, hold on, that don't happen over here. That don't happen in the Bahamas. I don't recall it happening in the Bahamas. If I lie and I fly, and y'all let me know. But I don't really ever recall this banana tree or any of these trees and they're losing their leaves in the fall. Oh, but that's fallen leaves. Anyway, winter you see trees, they lose their leaves, whatever. Um, Animals, well, before winter, sorry, around this time now, animals probably doing a lot of stuff for hibernate to get ready for hibernation, right? Go into hibernation, they storing up food, doing all this different stuff so that they could rest in the winter, and when it's time for the spring, they could be back on go. We don't do that, right? New Year's is around our winter time. New Year's is when we now starting to go, we starting to go at it hard, but shouldn't that, we are a part of nature, should we not follow nature? If it's a rest time, if it's time for resting, resetting in nature, why are we going or doing the opposite of what nature is doing? You feel me? And maybe that's why by the time spring roll around, you ain't in the gym no more. Because maybe that's not, you know what I mean? Think about it. I'm thinking about it. It's something I want to give a try. I'm gonna definitely give it a crack. That's why I'm trying to do, like I said, a lot of the planning and logistic stuff now so that I could just have time for myself to just balance and reset and really just take a rest during the winter. So when the spring comes, I can bloom. And with that being said, guys, this episode, this first mini-sode episode, is now come to an end. It's come to a close. I hope you all doing well. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you all again on Friday. Blessings to you and yours. Stay hydrated, get educated, and be liberated. G Money signing out.